And good morning. It's still morning here, early morning on the West Coast. And let me title this Silk Out Summer School. I know some of you guys are still asleep. Good morning, good morning. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Caroline, I need my hair braided. I need my hair braided so bad. I'm gonna have to fly to Memphis. Can't find nobody to braid my hair. I'm so glad you came on. I'm gonna inbox you. I need my hair braided for like 6 weeks. Yeah. I need my hair braided. I cannot, these new braiders, girl, I can't do this edge control. Cannot do this edge control. So me and Caroline go way back. We used to work in the salon together back in Cali. And I love the way she braided my hair. Absolutely. If you still braid it. I don't know if you still braid it or not. But I got a little length going on and I want to get it. You can braid that, right, Caroline? I know you can braid that. Yeah. I just need some individuals. But this new braiding, all that waxed up stuff, I can't do in my hair. And it's hard to find those kind of braiders. But good morning, good morning. Today I'm going to do a Silk Out Summer School lesson. And the lesson today will be about, let's talk about these hair oils. I post about it, but I don't get on here and talk about it with you. So let me roll up my sleeves because I know everybody has their opinion. Our goal here at Silk Out System is just to educate or re-educate some of you guys on the simplicity of healthy hair. I know there's a lot of places you can get information from or have gotten information from, and some of it may be factual and some of it may not be. Some of it is experimental, and so I know there's a lot of confusion in the marketplace. There's a ton of products in the marketplace, and but our goal is to give you factual, science-based information, because having a cosmetology license, these are things that we learn and these are things that we practice, and we know from practicing them what works and what doesn't work. So that's all. So we're not here to step on nobody's toes. So sometimes they get stepped on. It's not intentional. I just can't not tell the truth to make other people feel good about their information. And sometimes these conversations can become debatable, but I'm not telling you what I heard. I'm telling you what I know. And so, you can take it with a grain of salt and say, you know what, this is not for me. But we're always trying to give you just the facts so that you understand them. I know in the past, a lot of, and I get this now, why are you sharing information on social media? I want to help the people. And it's not just to sell products. I'm healthy hair. I live and breathe this stuff. But I just see so much wrong, so much harm that's being done. And so whether you do business with us or not, I hope this information serves you, or you are able to share it with someone that it helps. So I just ordered your hair oil. My question is, should we be greasing our scalp? Girl. And if so, how often? Okay, good question. And that's a great way to segment into this. So, and I'm going to answer your question. So oils, you guys, oil is a lubricant. Okay. It makes things, and I'm going to grab an oil. It makes things move better. So if you think about your car, this is our soothing oil. So if you think about your car, it has a motor. It needs oil so that things smooth and move and glide better, whether it's an engine, whether it's, whatever. But in terms of hair, it helps hair, especially coily hair. It helps you be able to have better manageability. Greasing of the scalp. The greasing of the scalp. My theory and what I know is that the scalp does not need to be greased. Okay, so if you bought the soothing oil, your scalp does not need to be greased. If you are having scalp issues, so this soothing oil has peppermint, almond oil, And it is designed to help alleviate itching. And if you're experiencing dryness, it's to help soothe the itching. The peppermint oil also stimulates the follicle. And if you have some dryness and flakiness, until you get that addressed, good morning, Kai. Until you guys go follow Kai Smith, my friend Kai Smith, trichologist at Your Hair Loss Advocate. You're going to get some great information from her. Just go follow her. I would not, what are you oiling your scalp for? So scalp doesn't need oil. Your scalp naturally produces an oil called sebum. Like I said, if you're experiencing dryness, if you're having itchiness, if you have psoriasis, if you have eczema, if you have one of those scalp, and that's a body condition, that's a sign that's telling you something is wrong in your body and it needs to be fixed. But in the meantime, you can put oil on those areas to help soothe the itch, to help calm the flakiness, but the oil is not going to make it go away. Any of those conditions that you have, if you have eczema, dermatitis, psoriasis, that's coming from inside of your body. It's imbalances that needs to be corrected. The best, if you don't have a dermatologist or you're not, Kai Smith can help you with that, but I always send my clients to the dermatologist to get skin conditions dealt with. Remember, cosmetology is cosmetics, okay? Cosmetology is cosmetics. And so we're only licensed to deal with everything on top of the body. Although we understand internal functions and things of that nature, if you're a licensed stylist and you're looking to learn more and get into trichology so that you can help your clients better and help them deal with hair loss that's internal, then you need to get with Kai Smith, Your Hair Loss Advocate, and see one of her programs she has that can help you. But we're cosmetologists and we perform cosmetic services. Yes, we have conditioners because the hair is outside of the body. So we can treat the hair once it's outside of the body. But we can't fix what's going on inside of your body. Okay? So greasing your scalp just to be greasing it. I know we all grew up with a jar of Sulfur Aid or Sulfur Aid, what's the other one? Crown, the red jar, Royal Crown, Royal or Royal Crown. One of those, Blue Crown or something. It was blue. And we got our hair greased. That was our Saturday. Got a hair wash, got it greased, and we got it styled. The grease helped to be able to comb and style and brush through the hair but technology has evolved, and we, are more knowledgeable of our hair and how to deal with our hair. Royal Crown. I'm talking about Crown Royal. That's something else. That's another live. And so I grew up with that. We all Ultra Sheen, the little jar. I remember that at my grandmother's house. When I think of that jar, I think of my grandmother's house. But that's what we were taught. And there's some history on that with like slavery, a lot of that scalp greasing, and it wasn't grease. It was more like, what do you call it? Like lard. They would use lard to actually, because they're working in the field and all that stuff, and bugs and things get attracted to their hair. So to keep that stuff out their hair, they would put a lot of oil in their hair. Okay. But back to the greasing of the scalp. Your body will naturally moisturize itself, and oil is not a moisturizer, but it produces the right amount of oil that should keep your scalp balanced. You do not need oil on your scalp. You do not need oil on your scalp. But I understand if, like I said, we use our peppermint, our soothing oil to help soothe itch. Right. Yes, we're in the cotton fields, Kai. So we are beyond that now. We live in a different era. Praise God. Thank God for the ancestors, but we live in a different era, and we don't have to carry that torch anymore. But you want to be careful greasing your scalp because it can clog your follicles and can start to miniaturize and impede the growth of your hair. Okay. And I know some people gonna say, no, my grandmother, everybody greased their hair back then, but it's not I don't recommend it. Okay. Oil, everybody uses oil. It's like the secret miracle solution to hair loss. Thank you. It's growing. It's really stretching out. My grays are coming back in, but it's really, I'm hanging in there. I have visions of, I dream about relaxers and pixies every time I get on social media. I'm like, gosh, when I see a real bad pixie cut, I'd be like, book it. Nope, don't do it. Don't do it. So we should use oil to keep our hair. I think you're trying to say manageable. No, your hair should be manageable from conditioning and care. Oil, like I said, oil it provides viscosity. It provides slip. Okay. It makes moving parts move better. It makes things shiny. People put oil in their hair because it looks dull. Well, if it's dull, it's because it's lacking moisture and protein. Okay, but oil is the end all be all sometimes when it comes to texture hair, but it actually is just it's a cosmetic ingredient, and it's just used to make things look shiny. But if what's underneath the oil needs to be fixed, then it needs to be fixed. Right? It's a mask. It's a cover up. And I've said this before, and I know we have a lot of new followers now. Shout out to Mr. Anthony Cuts. I've said this before. If you are in a car wreck and you get, your car gets dinged or damaged and it's visible to the eye. Okay, slip. Right. That's what I mean. It's viscosity. It makes it move. If your car gets damaged, you go to the repair shop first because you need to fix the damage. 2, then you need to, get it repainted. And then 3, you get what? Then you get your wax job. But we have a habit, or some consumers have a habit of everything that's damaged, that doesn't look good, or it's not performing well, we put oil on it so that it looks better. But we haven't fixed it. So if your car was in a wreck, would you go, I'm going to get a wax job because this doesn't look good? No, you're going to go get your car fixed. You should go get your car fixed. Like, actually there's the average person that washes cars would not wax your car if it's damaged. Right? So, right. The lube is to help the car run and all the parts move better. But if the engine is broke down, then it's not the oil that's going to fix the engine. The internal parts of the engine need to be replaced. So the internal parts of your hair, the structure of the hair needs to be replaced. And if the strands of the hair are compromised of amino acids and proteins and keratins, all these building blocks, then when we need to replace them, because we've lost them from styling, products, chemical services, color, gels, wearing a lot of hair products are alkaline, and some of them are high alkaline. So that starts to slowly diminish the protein in your hair. It's a normal thing. If you never put back the protein that's lost over time, then the hair becomes weak and starts to break down. So if the hair has lost protein, then what do we do to rebuild the hair? We rebuild the hair with protein, right? Like facial oils, right? And they need to be rebuilt. And I know you guys are going to say, oh no, my hair is sensitive to protein. It's not. You just may be using it the wrong one. You may be using too much. And so you need to get with someone that can support you in knowing when to use protein and when not to. But if the hair is broken down, oil is not going to build it up. It's just going to continue to coat. Doesn't seal. I'm sorry, oil doesn't seal. It just coats. So think about, I just got the kitchen clean. Think about the oil on your hood after you've been cooking for the whole month. It hasn't sealed in anything. It's built up on top of that, your kitchen appliances or over the stove. Michigan. Let me look. Let me check. Inbox me, and I'll send you. I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Someone in Michigan. There is somebody. I think at least two, but I gotta look in the registry. That oil just gets piled up on top of your hood of your oven or your stove, and then what happens? Dirt and dust and everything gets attracted to it, and then it's just a sticky, gooky mess until it's cleaned off, right? We build protein in the body with what we It starts within our body, what we eat in our body. We just can't be all topical, but we can support, like I said, on top. Anything outside of the body is in addition to what is going on in the body. Right. And our job as hairstylists is to maintain the health of the hair with products like Silk Out System, with our Revive, our Revive is enough protein for someone that's doing their hair at home. Okay. It comes in a cream base. It will strengthen, tighten any weak hair. We have other proteins that are concentrated. That's for professional use only, because professional stylists know how to administer, the right mixing ratios based on your own personal condition. So when they're giving you one of our restorative treatments, it is truly customized to your hair. Okay. You said, I'm going to do my own Silk Out treatment. And if you're at home and don't have a stylist, you can use our Revive. You can use our Keramask. If your hair is weak, you can use the Revive. If your hair is dry, use the Keramask. If you're dealing with both, you have shedding and weakness, you can mix them together for a very, very powerful treatment. Thank you, Kai, for a very, very powerful, intense treatment that you can do on your hair about once a month. If your hair is really damaged, about maybe every 2 weeks until you refill and strengthen that hair, and then you can move back to once a month. I haven't found a product line like it. Thank you, Kai. So for those who don't know me, I'm a licensed cosmetologist of 30 years. I just love all things healthy hair, and can't nobody tell me different. Can't nobody tell me about nothing new. There's always trends and things when it comes to hair care, but it boils down to science. I've always been intrigued by it in my early career, and I've worked for top companies that offered amazing products over my career, and then I eventually segued into I actually kind of start missing what I was looking for. And there were some breakdowns in what I needed. So I decided, you know what? This is what I'm looking for. This is what I feel like the industry needs, at least my market. And Silk Out System came to life. And Silk Out System is just all my 30 years in the salon, how I treated my customers, what I used on my customers is Silk Out System. All of the regimens I share, the recommendations I make is what I would do if I was behind the chair. So I'm not an influencer who's been practicing in my hair or, what have you. This is coming from the salon. Okay. This is coming from my professional experience. And when I do go in the salon, this is what I pack my bag with and go back into the salon and use. This is my stuff out of my bathroom. This is what I use at home. So, and if you follow me long enough, you've seen me transition. My hair has gone from relaxer, shaved off, it depends on how I feel. There's some days I feel like shave off, There's some days I feel like a relaxer. It varies. She said, will you ever put your line in a major retail stores? At this moment, it's not my goal right now. I don't really know much about working with retail stores. That's not where we're at. We're still new. We're still growing. And that's not my goal right now. I can't say it would never happen, but that's not on my goal at this current moment. Right now, you can basically buy our products on our website, or from if your stylist uses Silk Out, they're able to buy wholesale and retail to their customers. But that's not our goal right now. Our goal right now is we're still building the brand, building the audience, and educating you guys, so that it's not just another product on a shelf. because we want to have longevity. That's not our goal. It's just to get to a shelf. All right, so back to the oil. So we know oil is a lubricant. It helps things move. Oils also have healing properties. I'm not demonizing oil. This post is not to demonize oil. Oil also has healing properties. And so you want to make sure you're using them for the right reason, not just to grease your scalp, not just to grow hair. That's the misconception that, oh, if your hair is not growing, get you some grow oil. I'm sorry, that's not how hair grows. If you look at some of my earlier posts, my last cut, I think, was in January, where I cut my hair down to like barely the tip of my nail. And here we are. Like I said, I'm doing good. You know, by Christmas, I should have another, 2 or 3 inches, and it's growing at the rate it's supposed to be growing. No oils, no secret, serums. And don't get me wrong, there are things, growth products, even though they're labeled hair growth. I think that's the I hate that term, hair growth. I think it should support people in their journey. Like, there are products that stimulate the follicle, that kind of help wake it up, because it's attached to a blood supply, and sometimes it can be a little dormant. So those things do help, get it going, get things going if your follicles are dormant. But just with no science behind it, you never hear anybody really talk about the science behind what makes their product work. They put growth on the front of it, and everybody's like, boom. If I just wanted to get rich quick, I would sell a growth oil, but I don't really believe in them. I do believe, like, I could put growth on this and it'll fly off the shelf. But because it stimulates the follicle, it's more than stimulating the follicle. It's also diet. It's also hair habits. You can't sit and snatch your edges out every 2 weeks and then think you're going to combat that with oil. You got to choose one. Okay? You got to choose one. You can't, keep a ton of glue in your head, or lack of care and things of that nature, and then think, okay, as long as I braid it up and put some oil on it, it's going to grow. That's not how it works. Your hair, your body, just how we're breathing air right now, that's how hair grows. It works with your body system. Okay? Your hair just won't sit on your head and not move. When your hair stops growing, it is released from the follicle, and therefore this becomes a clean spot. Okay? It does just not sit on your head. Your nails don't just sit. They're constantly growing. Now, if you're biting them off every week, you will say, oh, my nails stay short. No, you bite your nails off every week. The same as if you can't seem to see any length, or you can't retain any length in your hair. It is because your style choice or lack of care or deficit of care needs to be addressed, so that you can actually you can retain length and you can actually see that length. Now, of course, when your hair is curly, it naturally coils up, so you're not going to always see the length. And that's not the goal, is the length. The goal should be healthy hair first. And once the hair is healthy, then you need to maintain it and keep it in the proper care so that you can see the length, if that's the goal. I rarely stretch my hair out to see how much it's grown. I just like to see my curls healthy. I just like to see my hair healthy. Once we get into late summer, or at the end of summer, I plan on starting to go back into a silk press and stretch it out, occasionally. But I'm here for the healthy hair, not necessarily what's going to grow my hair quick. So back to oils. One reason why oil can't repair your hair, it may have healing properties when it comes to, certain skin conditions and things of that nature, but oil does not have a pH. And so that's why it doesn't correct the hair. That's why the lock method or whatever method that people talk about, I seal, water, moisture, whatever, it doesn't work. It doesn't work. It does not seal your hair. And it doesn't repair the hair. Just because you blow dry oil into your hair, or put oil into your hair and then put, after you put water. First of all, oil and water don't mix. Try it. It just doesn't mix. It just doesn't mix. Okay, so you can't seal it in. You can coat it, which makes it heavy, which actually blocks out your hair from getting moisture or the right protein into your hair. So you can't have effective conditioning if you have tons of oil built up on your hair. And because oil doesn't have a pH, because it contains no water, pH is your potential hydrogen. It doesn't have any water in it. So it can't do anything. It can't like tighten your cuticles, unlike our balance conditioner that can go in and have silk proteins, and it helps to correct the strand and close the cuticle down. Oil can't do that. Now you can apply a bunch of oil on there and it seems easier to comb, but when you wash it off, it's not corrected. So my thing is, we use oils instead of correcting what needs to be corrected. And when your hair is healthier and you correct the balance, the protein, you correct the moisture imbalances, you'll need less oil. Like, who really wants greasy hair? Raise your hand. Hey, Devaki, who really wants greasy hair? I don't. Now, a lot of my products have oils in them, have coconut oils and other argan oils, but they've been processed to the small molecular weight where if they were going to get some absorption into the hair, they can. Heavy molecular weight oils, they just sit on the surface and they can't penetrate. You don't want oil penetrating, and it's just going to block your follicles. That's not how we get oils into the body. If you want some oils in your body, take it. Take a drop of it. If your oil is as pure as you say it is, take a couple drops of it. It'll benefit you more inside of your body. See, the reason why people do the lock or whatever, I can't even explain it because it just does not make any sense. It's not scientifically sound. And so people feel good about it because they have that slip when they put all that oil on their hair. They have that slip, but it's not addressing the problem. And the problem is the hair is the porosity is unbalanced. They probably have high porous hair. Right, Kai? Unrefined coconut oil. Yes, they have high porous hair. And of course, if you put shea butter or something on there, it's heavy. It's going to feel like it's weighing it down. But those things cannot correct and close that cuticle down. Porosity means just the cuticle is open or closed. Low porosity is closed. High porosity is open. It needs to get shut down. Because as long as it's open, the hair is real wiry, frizzy, unmanageable. Stays tangled. It's hard to comb through. And it's open, and now it's like riding around with your hood open. If you ride around the town with your hood open, your car, you can damage the inner parts of your car. So your goal is to get it back closed so that you can style it, do what you need to do, etc. The only time the cuticle needs to be open is gently for conditioning treatments. Chemical treatments do open it, but there's procedures after those treatments that help do what? Close it back down. So you open it up, do what you need to do, color the hair, do what needs to be done. I have to paint these analogies and I'm kind of crazy, so just things pop up in my head. You know, Kai, how I always have something to say. So, like I said, it's like riding around with the hood up. You need to close the hood. Not polish the car. You need to close the hood of the car because you don't want to do any damage. And if you're you can't keep putting oils and oils and oils, it does not correct porosity. It can't. It doesn't. It scientifically can't. Okay, I'm not anti-oil. We have oils. We have our VitaSilk. It's more of an oil serum. It has vitamin A, D, and E in it. It's a nourishing oil that nourishes your hair. I crack myself up, guys. It's a nourishing oil that nourishes your hair, but it does not weigh your hair down. It has fatty acids in it. It does not weigh your hair down, so you're still able to blow dry your hair after you use this oil. You'll get the slip. You'll feel the slip. This is one of my favorite blow dry products that I mix with the Silk Out Serum. You'll get the slip from it, but your hair won't be greasy and won't be weighed down. One thing I like about the new, what do you call, Hydra Silk. I had to get it right. Hydra Silk Care Mask. I love that the Hydra Silk is moisturizing to the hair. That's our new leave-in cream. Moisturizing styler. It moisturizes the hair, but it does not weigh it down. So I don't like greasy products and stuff that where my face is all on my face the next day, my pillow. So when people say, oh, but my hair drinks oil. And when I posted about it, somebody says, well, where does it go if my hair, I said, no, your hair doesn't drink oil. Remember, your hair doesn't have a digestive tract. Okay. So it can't drink oil. Thank you, Kai. It cannot drink oil. So where does it go? So if your hair is extremely porous and you're piling hair oils up on your hair and you think that it's being drinking, or it's just being soaked into your body, that's not what happens. So when you are just piling oils and greases up on your hair, one, they get on the rest of your body. They drip down the rest of your body. You become greasy. Your pillowcase becomes greasy. And that's what happens to the oil. Sometimes a lot of people end up with acne because they have so much oil in their hair, as well as it becomes an attraction for like dirt and dust. And then please don't tell me that your hair grows better when it's dirty. You guys, I just see it all and I'm like, where are these people getting this information from? Your hair grows best when it's clean. When your scalp is clean on a regular basis and it's getting plenty of oxygen, blood stimulation, blood circulation, and it is clean. Okay? I shampoo my hair about 3 to 4 times a week. Now, mind you, because I do it 3 to 4 times a week, I don't need to do 2 shampoos. The 2 shampoos is more when someone only goes to the salon once a week, once every 2 weeks, etc. But if you're at home, you don't need 2 shampoos when you shampoo your hair, because it's not necessarily the hair, it's also the scalp that you're cleaning. For so many years in our culture, we've trying to preserve hairstyles because we want to get our money's worth. We want to make it last forever. But at the same time, that comes with a cost of our scalp hygiene. You wonder why when you go back to the stylist after 3-4 weeks, you have flakes built up. That's sebum, dead skin cells that they're not being washed off every day. As how when we wash our bodies, what are we washing off? Dead skin cells. We wash our face night and day. We wash our bodies night and day. And we get rid of the dead skin. We get rid of lotions and things that we put on our body. But for our hair, we want to go forever. And then we wonder why it itches. Why does it itch so bad? I had a client inbox me and she says, my scalp itches so bad. I was like, when's the last time you shampooed it? She said, 3 weeks ago. I'm like, it's time. And the sebum that our body naturally produces is acidic. And so you let that pile up on your scalp, it's going to itch. Sweat comes out of our body. And if you work out a lot and you're just letting oils, sweat pile up on your scalp and you don't shampoo it, it's going to itch. You're going to have flakes. It's going to be built up. And then you put styling products on top of those. And it's just, I think at least once a week, no more than 2 weeks. If you can't handle your hair and you go to salon, no more than 2 weeks. But once a week is a great happy space for keeping your scalp clean. So oils, back to the oils. Oils are not a moisturizer. They add slip and viscosity. They have nourishing properties. But if you need moisture in your hair, moisture doesn't come from anything actually. Hydrating the hair or helping the hair, moisturizing the hair is basically helping the hair retain moisture. And the hair retains moisture when the protein is balanced. See, the protein is what holds the hair together. Kai mentioned it earlier. I can't scroll back. Let me see if I can scroll back because she mentioned it earlier. All the bonds in the hair, the molecular structure of the hair, if they're weakened and they have holes in them, then when you go to put, when you wash your hair, when you put water on your hair and there's nothing there for it to hold on, now it's like big holes in your hair. So your hair can't retain any moisture. But when the bonds are tight and sit like they're supposed to, guess what? When you shampoo your hair, the water, because that's what moisture is, the hair can retain it. So if your hair is not holding products, not holding moisture, that's a telltale sign that it needs to be re-strengthened so that there's something for it to hold on to. So think of the bonds like a big fishing net with big holes in it. If the net had super big holes in it, the fish would come in and go right out. So they have to have the net at a certain size. I'm trying to use my hands so that when they get the fish in there, they don't come out. And that's the same thing with water, cross-bond, soft bond, right? And so each time you wet your hair, you heat your hair, you rearrange those bonds. And they set in whatever they set when you blow dry them, they set when you style them. Okay, so that's why it's important we preach having a protein first so that your hair can retain moisture. Moisture just keeps so that the protein, your hair is not over hardened, because hair is just keratinized protein. That's what your hair is. And so keratin, protein, when we say those words, we think of something, like our nails. They're hard. I have on acrylics, but they're hard. So to keep your hair soft and pliable, you need a moisture balance. That's why if you're doing protein treatments at home, you don't say that, oh, protein is bad for my hair. If all you do is protein, and your hair starts to pop and break, it's because it's too much protein. It's too strong. And so you can't take it out the hair. I've heard somebody say, how do I take protein out of my hair? You don't want to do that. You don't want to do that. Yeah, thanks, Kai. The synthetic protein or amino acid replaces those broken in the chain, not the oils. And so if you find yourself, okay, your hair is strong, but it's dry, it's because now it's deficit of moisture. So you use moisture to balance it out, balance it back out. And all healthy hair is a balancing act, moisture and protein, moisture and protein. You can't be all moisture because guess what? Too much moisture can also over soften your hair. And over softening the hair leads to it becoming soft, too soft, and it stretches easily, breaks easily. It becomes mushy. And so then you need protein to tighten it back up. That's all it is. I'm trying to simplify. For the last 20 years, I think hair care with the internet, podcasts, YouTube, social media, everybody's rah about hair. Everybody wants to be heard and seen about hair, but not all the information is actual and factual. So I'm trying to simplify it because I can see, like, when I look at some of the posts or I see just some of the information that people are sharing, and I'm like, they have confused the hell out of these people. So I'm trying to simplify hair care. So back to the oil, because this always leads to something else because they all tie together. But back to the oil. It has its place, but understand you don't need to be greasing the scalp. If you have an issue that needs to be treated and it's an oil-based product, yes, you use it for that. But just greasing the scalp on a regular basis, no. If there's some flakes and there's something going on, that's something that needs to be corrected. Right. A lot of those gels that everybody loves to use, the one in the big buckets, those are high alkaline. They have a high pH. And so, yeah, they hold your curls in place. They hold your edges in place, and it works good, and it keeps it hard, and it doesn't move. But it also aggravates and it unbalances the pH of the hair. And the more and more you use it and don't rebalance it, I'm not saying don't use it. That's why you have to deep condition on a regular basis, because the more and more you use it, it throws the pH off and the cuticle becomes more open, more open, more open, more open. And then you're like, oh, my hair is just frizzy, frizzy, frizzy. But let me just put these oils and products on them so it doesn't look frizzy. So once again, we go back to the cover up, but we're not fixing the problem. I'm not saying don't use those products. Even my own products, styling products in general, have a higher pH. Define is one of our gels. It's a gel. It has whole. It has a higher pH. I just know I got to make sure, even though I'm natural, I'm chemically treated, I have color, and I'm using styling products, you know, I'm using styling products every day, every other day. So I have to recondition and deep, I don't care how short my hair is, it needs to be reconditioned on a regular basis. Right. It's the big cover up. It's just throw some oil on it. You know, that doesn't fix the problem. Hair care, conditioning is what's going to correct the problem. And then you'll be using oil. Like I said, if you want to use oil for shine, that's fine, if that works for your hairstyle. But you won't be using it to correct any issues that's going on with the hair, because it does not correct. It's a lubricant. It helps with styling. That's fine with styling. But it doesn't correct scalp issues. It helps soothe them. It helps calm the itch. But that itch is coming from another place. And until that's under control, like I'm allergic to certain products. When I get hair color, sometimes I have allergic reaction. I'll use the soothing oil on my scalp to control the itch. When I got relaxers, I always burn when I get relaxers. My skin is sensitive. I'll use those products afterwards. Once the itching goes away, once the skin heals, then I don't need to use those products anymore. Right. And the serum, the Silk Out serum, which is our heat protector, helps to correct that cuticle even when you're styling, protect from heat, rebalance the moisture. So our entire line, no, it's not, my friend. And that's why I would get the relaxer 6, 8, 12, 10, 15 weeks. I cut it back off and go back natural. So this time I'm staying away from it, even though it's tempting. And then I'm just going to, I'll be getting the Tamer treatment by September, right before Summit. And I'll start going into my silk press by then. But Caroline, I'm going to reach out to you because I need my hair braided. And I always love the way you braided my hair. Always, always. All right, you guys. So I hope this helped you and gave you some better understanding on how oils work. Give me some feedback. If you have any questions, inbox us. Let us know. And let me see. You guys were quiet today. The only person we had, other than Kai, I can't give Kai no free product. But who was engaging with me today? I don't know how to say your name. New Meek J18. Inbox me. I'm gonna give you a free one of our summer samplers. Because you gave us some great engagement today. So, okay, Caroline, I will do that. Who wants to be on camera? Athena Scott. You can contact customer service about your dryer. info@silkoutsystem.com. I'm going to type it, info@silkoutsystem. And make sure you give your order number and your actual name. A lot of you guys use your social media information, and that's not on your order. So inbox, email info@silkoutsystem, and they can help you with your dryer. Someone asked to be live. It disappeared. Okay, so and then one quick question, you guys. I know, and I'm gonna email this out today or tomorrow. Shipping. If you notice that a lot of the shipping now is coming with a signature, especially on high value items or high value orders. We've tried to put insurance on the packages. Insurance doesn't cover theft. Theft means it got dropped off, but somebody picked it up from your front door. those are considered theft, and when we can't file claims on those. And so we've decided to try Signature. And it cost us a little more, but the insurance we were paying for as well, and it wasn't working out. So we've added Signature to make sure you guys get your packages. So sometimes with different companies, UPS or the post office, they'll hold it. You have to go pick it up and sign for it. But actually, we started doing this about 4 weeks ago, and we have only lost one package out of about 500 packages. Only one, we've lost one package. So I think that's going to work for us. So it's inconveniencing if you're not home, but you know, we don't replace stolen items. So to make sure you guys get your items, we've invested into the shipping Signature, which is a few bucks more than what you guys pay for shipping, just to make sure you guys get the product. We want to make sure you guys get it. All right. So I hope you guys enjoy your Saturday. I hope this guys gave you some insight on how oil works with the hair, the benefits of oil. If you go on our blog, I actually have a whole post about it. Go on our website, I have a blog post about it. But you don't need to oil your scalp. You do need to get your scalp in balance. And sometimes that's just inside of your body, your diet. What's inside your body this face skin tells you what's going on inside of your body. There's a lot of acne, bumps and things of that nature, then it's going to show up. That means there's something that needs to be rebalanced in the blood, in the diet. And that can only be corrected inside of the body. So remember, cosmetology is cosmetic. We treat and nourish what comes out. But if it's not coming out, or it's not coming out properly, then it needs to be fixed inside of the body. All right. Thank you, Kai. You guys have an amazing day, and I will chat with you guys soon. Bye-bye.